So to make this marquee letter sign, you're going to need some lights, and I use the ones from this kit, but you could also just use fairy lights. And then you're going to want a cardboard letter, and make sure it's hollow, and then you can do whatever like size you want. And then I'm going to use an X-Acto knife, and then just some paint and a paintbrush to decorate, but you could decorate with anything. So first I'm just going to paint my cardboard letter with a coat of white paint. This was mostly just for like the video, so you could see what was the front and what was the back, and then you can see my pencil lines a little bit better. If you want to, you can paint the whole letter now, like whatever final color you want, or you can wait till a little bit later after we cut some holes and cut the back off. After the paint's completely dry, you can go ahead and cut the cardboard from the back of the letter. This is pretty easy, and slice along the outside edge. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything. This is going to be the back anyways and won't really be seen. And then just be careful of your fingers. You don't want to cut yourself. And then when you're buying the letter, you should be able to tell if it's hollow on the inside or not. This one is from Hobby Lobby, and they had a bunch of different sized letters. This was the smallest size that I could get. And then once you have cut around all of the edges, you should be able to peel up the back of the cardboard. And then there's this little squiggle of more cardboard in there that was for to support it. So you can just pull all of that stuff out too, and then you should have a hollowed out cardboard letter. So after the inside is all cleared out, I'm just going to flip it back over, and I'm going to map out where I want to put my little light bulbs. So the string of lights I'm using has 13 bulbs for it, but if you're using fairy lights, just count how many little light spots there are, and then map out a good spacing and where you want them to be on your letter. And then I'm taking the box that I got, and this was on clearance for just a couple dollars, but they only had the letter Z and Q and some other letters that were not the right ones for my name. So I'm just going to use the lights out of it. So I open that up, and I'm going to take the lights, and then I'm going to use the letter piece that they have for the circle to trace. So I'm just going to trace that out along each of the dots that I already drew on. And this is so that the little glass bead can fit over the top of the lights. But again, if you're just using fairy lights, just poke little tiny holes with the top of a pen or something like that to be able to see the fairy light through. And then for the X-Acto knife, I'm just taking it and I'm going to cut a little tiny star. It's a lot easier to do this than to try to cut in a small circle, and then you can just push the bead right through. Again, this should be pretty easy, but always be careful when using knives or any sharp tools. So I just did that all the way around, and then this is what I've been talking about, the little beads. So my lights came with a string of lights, and then these little beads that stick over the top to make it look like little light bulbs. So I'm just pushing that through to make sure it fits in all of the holes. And now I'm going to finish painting. So I already have a coat of white, and then this is a champagne colored paint and then a little bit of a pearly color so that it has a little bit of shimmer to it. But you can paint this any color or any way that you would like. And then I'm just painting that on with a sponge brush. And I ended up doing 2 or 3 coats of this just to get it really opaque. And then I'm going to do a little bit of this glitter paint as well, just so it's a little bit more sparkly still. And then I did 2 coats of that glitter paint as well. So after all your paint is dried, you can start putting in the lights. So I just stuck in all of the little bulbs all the way around my letter. Once you have all of your little balls in there, you can flip it around and put in the actual string of lights. So these just stick in 1 little light per bead. And then I stuck the battery pack in there too. Most letters I think should have a spot where you can fit that. If not, I can just sit behind the letter on your shelf or wherever. So you just pop one of these little guys in each. Again, if you're doing fairy lights, you should just put a little piece of tape behind each light inside of your letter to keep it in place where you poked your holes. And then that is everything for the DIY letter marquee sign. So I hope you all liked it and try this yourself. If you do, you can tag me on my Instagram. And I would love if you subscribed to my channel to see more DIY or beauty videos. And have a good one.